So what we will now do is we are going to showcase two of our members who will talk about the work they're doing on AI and the technologies they've built to help the areas of smart buildings, smart healthcare and smart retail. Specifically, what we're going to have is Mr. Bihin, who is the CEO of a company called Robotics, who will talk about the kind of applications of their technology on smart retail and healthcare. Yes, we can, yeah.
Yeah, okay, all right. Thank you for this time to share with you our Robotics solution. Basically, a suite of proven robotic solution from China, Taiwan, and Israel that we have brought to Singapore and localized. But a quick roundup of our company first. We have been around for 12 years. We have been focusing on location-based product and services for the last 12 years on AR and VR and because of COVID for robotics. We have been transforming education, training, travel, and healthcare sector. Key customers have been Ministry of Education, Ministry of Defense, and various community stat boards. Our solution is present in 5 countries with 6 more to come. The 5 countries are actually Thailand, Israel, Malaysia, Singapore, as well as Sri Lanka. Yeah. Our vision is to be a global leader in location-based and AI solution. Mission is to transform industry, integrate community, and help everybody become better stewards of the environment with smart tech platform. These have been our key customers in Singapore, basically the schools, the government sectors, and the community stat boards. We have been award-winning company for many, many years. The most prestigious is 2017, where we won the Asia Pacific ICT Award competition with our platform. And the key competitors have been China, Japan, Korea, India, Sri Lanka, Australia, New Zealand, and ASEAN country. So our strategy to help accomplish our mission is basically this integrated business system that we have built and use it to create a whole host of location-based AR, VR app for schools, for government, for attractions, to support hospitality, education, and training sector. But today, my focus is how we have used our platform to bring on board a suite of professional service robots from those countries which I mentioned about to help the healthcare and hospitality sector to assist them in a fight against COVID. Now, these are the 2 sectors that we have identified to be blue ocean, expected to grow over the next 2-3 years very significantly. For robots, I'm not talking about industrial robots, I'm talking about professional service robot. Very necessary right now because of COVID affecting very much the healthcare sector as well as the hospitality sector. So our aim is to protect doctors, nurses, frontline staff, patients, and to prevent epidemic from spreading further. And this is a whole suite of robots that we have built, that we have actually brought on board to Singapore and harmonized them with this command control dashboard that provide good clarity of location, performance, and aggregation of data for all these deployed robots on web and app. There are 3 classes: safety and security robots. The second class is what we call telepresence robot, and the last class is what we call service delivery robots. Yeah. And finally, harmonized, as I've mentioned, with our command control dashboard. So this is a visual of the safety and security robot suite. And then this one shows the telepresence robot and the service delivery robot. So allow me right now just to focus a little bit about the safety and security robots. And the first foremost, I think all of you are very familiar and you have seen this before. This is called the LoRa scan, and that's something I believe that Eric have also shown just now. So I'm not going to show you the video how it works, but basically it helps to detect temperature with facial recognition capability and whether people are wearing masks. And you can also use it for attendance taking, and only the right people who are authorized will be allowed to enter in the building. So it can be integrated together with your gantry system. Yep. But what if you have lots of people moving in or out of their building? It may not be feasible or even pragmatic to ask everybody to queue up, and that may take too much time. So this is where multi-purpose robots like AIMBot can come in. And what this robot does is actually 3 things. Mass screening of temperature of up to about 200 people per minute. The second thing it can do is whether people are detecting masks, and of course take pictures of all these people for record purpose. And the next thing that it can actually do is when the traffic is down, it could actually do disinfection row. So 3 rows in 1. So this is a visual of how the robots look like. It's a robot from China. That's already been implemented in a few areas in China. So as you can see, these are the four features: temperature scanning, mass detection, disinfection, and broadcasting. There's this extended neck of which can give it a better for scanning area. And although it's autonomous and you can make it to patrol, you can also place it on a stationary position like this, where there's huge flow of traffic going in and out. So this is where people who are not wearing temperature, running, wearing masks or having a temperature will be detected. So how fast can it do? 200 people per minute. Therefore, 20 times more effective. So beyond scanning for temperature, it can also detect people who are not wearing masks, and of course take pictures of them for record purpose. And of course, if they continue to be recalcitrant, you can even forbid them to enter into the building in time to come. Once the traffic is down, this is what the robot can do. Actually, it can be turned into a disinfection machine. So essentially, this robot can function for you 24/7 hours. Without sleep, because it's a robot, and it can take the place of 5 people in the role of 5 persons. So very efficient robot. But then what if you have a huge compound outdoor? So the other alternative is now A3s, and the concept between A3s and aimbot is the same. Instead of assuming that instead of having to check everybody, the concept is management by exception. So you go around looking out for people who are running temperature and who are not wearing masks, and detecting these people and isolating them. Yep. But what if you are talking about an area beyond even your compound, in a marketplace, in a bus terminal, in a depot where there are lots of people moving around? So this is where smart helmet can come in very useful. For example, if there's an outbreak in a slum area, quite unlikely you need to send in robots, but you actually send in people wearing smart helmet like this. So this is an example of how it is done in China and what it looks like. So you can see all these are these are all public places, and the guy is just walking around, believing that most people would have been responsible in keeping social distance, running temperature, and of course not running a temperature. But of course there may be some people who may be running temperature and who may be public carriers. So even people who are in the cars, you can scan, yeah? At the very moment you have found that they have run the temperature, then what you do is you just stop them, isolate them, and send them for a swab test. Not that everybody running temperature are public carrier, but they are actually good suspects, yeah. So that's what smart helmet like this can be done, can be used for in the public place, yeah. All right, so I move on. And beyond smart helmet, then what else can you do? Yeah. So we are here talking now about, let's say in a hospital environment where there's isolation ward. You're talking about doctors and nurses moving in and out, maybe in contact with COVID patient. They need to be disinfected themselves as well as their equipment. And then what about patients who may be isolation ward? How do you prevent them even from getting off the ward, or who are placed in stay-home order? So this is where you can use beacon trackers to keep track of their movement. And the very moment they move out of the prescribed zone, of course, you'll fire alert to the management or the security or even the government. Yeah. So that was what I've just covered, the security set of robots. Now I'd like to talk about another very interesting class of robot, and these are called telepresence robot. Now, telepresence robot is designed not so much for security, but actually to engage people. And the people could be patients who are kept in a hospital in isolation, forbidden to have family members visiting them. And of course, if it's prolonged, they can lapse into depression. So this is where robots like Timmy can be brought into play. It can be programmed to move from ward to ward, bed to bed, and give patients ample time for medicine. That means they can consult doctor or nurses, or at certain other time even communicate with their loved ones. So this is an example of how the robot have been used in China. This robot, of course, has also been implemented in Europe and several other countries, and has also already been implemented here in Singapore, in several hospitals, as well as some nursing homes. Yeah. So while the patients are not allowed to get in contact with people, you can send in robots. The robots can, of course, bring small stuff for them, help to take temperature, monitor, the condition of the patients, allow them to communicate with their loved ones. So they are designed to bridge the gap. Yeah. But robots like this can also be deployed in the retail as well as in the hospitality sector, as this video shows. So it's a highly versatile robot. Timmy is actually from Israel. It competed in China and came in as a top robot, even against a Chinese robot. At the same time, it also competed in Las Vegas and it also came in top. Yeah. So it can be used for reception in hotels and provide facilities, orientation, but it can also be used in the retail space, like what I'm going to show you right now.
Good morning.
So this is a time where people want to have minimal contact, and robots like this can actually do a lot of wonders.
This big one, class.
Do you have this in another color?
Which one has more memory?
Going to the pasta.
Babies drink coffee because I was thinking this is like baby size.
I like that color.
Well, which one has a better camera?
I would recommend the one on your right.
Oh,
Would you like to try a cupcake?
All right.
Now, if these are made in Italy, why is it called a French press?
Surprise me,
baby. Aren't you adorable?
All right, so you realize that Timmy is very different class of robot because they are designed not so much to keep the place safe, but actually to liven up the place, engage customers, help patients who have been isolated to reconnect again with their loved ones as well as maybe with the doctors. The last class of robot I'd like to share with you is what we call service delivery robots. So this is where, again, in hospitals, in restaurants, to minimize contact, instead of getting human being to provide the service, robots can be sent in to provide the necessary service. And of course, you have secured ones, you have open shelf type. Yeah. So these are example of secured robots. Of course, they can be designed to be programmed to send in like medicine, medical apparatus, confidential document that only the recipient can unlock. But of course, you can also have open shelf robots like this that can play a very wonderful role in enhancing service delivery in a restaurant, as an example, or in the airport lounge. So robots like this, Bella, can do wonders. So you can go to the kitchen, of course, collect whatever food it is, and then after that be pre-programmed to go to the respective table that have made the orders. So because it's autonomous, it can navigate by itself, avoid obstacles, and then have this anti-collision communication capability. Yeah. Okay, all right. So I've shown you the three classes of robots that can provide certain different role, but providing a holistic function, both from security point of view, from engagement point of view, as well as from service delivery point of view. But all these robots, because they come from different places, from Israel, from China, from Taiwan, they need to be harmonized. We have spoken, of course, to some hospitals. Robots not new to them. They have bought them about even 1 or 2 years ago, but what has happened to this robot is that they have become white elephant. And the reason that is so is because their engineers do not even have enough time to do the localization and the customization. So what we do is very simple. When COVID is spreading, we around the world, or even in Singapore, our concept is that we need not to build robots from scratch. We bring in world-class robots that are well proven, and these are all award-winning robots. And what we do is we reach out to the factory floor, yeah, and we work with their engineers. As a tech company, we work with their engineers, and this is where we can talk about the enhancement, the localization, and more importantly, the harmonization. So that all these robots, when you plant them in any buildings or or places, you could have full visibility where they are and how they're performing and all the data that have been collected. Yeah. So in short, this is what I've presented to you over the last 10 minutes or so. And if you have any questions, you can contact me. My number is there. My email is there, as well as if you'd like to find out more about this robot and watch the video of all the rest, the website is there as well. All right, that concludes my presentation. So thank you so much for your attention.
Thank you, Behan. Thank you very much. Fascinating. I think